Good morning, world. How y'all doing? Happy Tuesday. J Tuck here, and welcome to Uncomfortable Conversations with J Tuck, aka Truck Chronicles. Today, first of all, I want to say shout out to my Niners. We beat the hell out of them sorry ass Jets. So I got the gear. Well, I always got my hat on. You know how I do, but I got the jacket on today. You know what I mean? I had to rip while I was at work. But anyway, bang bang Niner gang. So what I want to talk about today, I want to have an uncomfortable conversation, kind of like a part 2 of yesterday. But what I kind of want to talk about today is I want to have an uncomfortable conversation about all of the different agendas that America or society is trying to place on black people, culture, man, woman, and races, different races as a whole. If you can see that there are different, well, from what I see, there are different type of motives that America has, and it started from way back into slavery when they had the motive to making black people slaves. I mean, if we look at the history books and see how they muzzled us and stopped us from speaking our native language, which is why we speak English, you know what I mean? And instead of the native tongue that we had, our native language was a forgotten language. So if they can do that, if they can take the men out of the households back in the 60s, 50s, and on back, if they can do all of that, put crack cocaine in the hood to try and make us kill ourselves off. I mean, these are all different type of agendas that have happened in the past. So to the person that commented on the video yesterday, and we were going a little back and forth, we were having a great debate, by the way. It was a great debate. To the person that was pretty much saying that these narratives are fake or this is a conspiracy theory, we have seen police officers, like the police officers were the first KKK. Like the first police officers were like made to be the first KKK. Like, we have Eastern Stars and secret societies in America today that these people are treated better. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and even though this is the black Mecca and black excellence, and they consider this black Hollywood, if you go to corporate America in Atlanta, in Georgia, you will still find and see that it is still very much, corporate America is still ran by white people. And it's very racist in the South, in corporate America. It's just little things that'll happen to you that is not okay for you to do, that it'll get swept under the rug if somebody that doesn't look like you does the exact same thing. And it's just like an unspoken rule. I can't make this up. Right now, price of living and inflation is so high, it ain't just the man that have to work. Both parties and both parents have to work. They're trying to take the parents out of the household and put the kids in the schools, which the conspiracy theory, I'm using air quotes because that's what somebody said, this is a conspiracy theory of the school systems, is that schools are built just like prisons. So they're gearing our kids to go from school straight down to the prisons. In Atlanta, I don't know if where you guys live, but what's uncomfortable for me is that when I used to deliver to some of these schools in Georgia, in the country, there would be a youth detention center right across the street, walking distance away from the school. That bothers me. That's very uncomfortable to me. I would hate for my kids to go to a school like that. There are videos of white police officers standing by their cars, and you can Google this, in the intake place, just talking amongst themselves, speaking on how they're becoming obsolete and how they're becoming part of the minority, because anything that a black person, if a black person dates and impregnates any other person, their child or their offspring automatically becomes black. Yeah, they're mixed, but they automatically become black and something else. Black and something else. So like the all the way white or all the way one race is becoming now obsolete when it comes to like all of the races that were here that were overly populating the world at one point. There are 2 police officers on YouTube that literally have said that they are fully aware that they are becoming obsolete. Why do you think all the feminine stuff is being pushed in our face with the rap music, with the TV and the cartoons? Because they want us as black people to not repopulate the world, so our numbers can go down, so we can stop having multiple children, black and brown people, Mexicans as well. Because what we always say, the stereotype that if we see a Mexican in a truck, it's probably 17 of them in the truck, and so on and so forth, like, which is very racist and wrong to say, but like that was like a stereotype saying that they have a lot of family members, they have a lot of kids, and so on and so forth. Like, all of these are different agendas or ploys to keep us down in society. We can't say and continuously pretend like these things around us are not very much happening and are true. What can we do when we recognize the ploy that America is trying to get us to do? Trying to sway us into these different conspiracies or sway us into these different movements. We just need to push back. It's uncomfortable to have these conversations. It's uncomfortable to stand up for what you believe in at work, at school. Needless to say, America has all different type of ploys and different type of agendas that they're trying to force to push the narrative that they want to push. I mean, just as simple as rappers saying that they're pushing sex, money, guns, and drugs so that black people, so more incarcerations can happen, and so on and so forth. Like, when they're pushing a negative substance or so on and so forth, like, that's what they'll do. They'll get your favorite celebrity and your favorite star to go out and do it in hopes that you idolize them to go out and do the exact same thing. So in my comment in my video yesterday, when I was talking about Mr. Ratburn marrying a man in the Arthur show, you know, when we were growing up, Arthur was just about regular school things, and the fact that they modernized it and tried to make it where Mr. Ratburn now has a husband that he's getting married to. No, I have no problem with the fact that Mr. Ratburn is gay, but I do have a problem with the fact that if I'm having my son or daughter watch Clifford and Arthur, then no, they shouldn't come to me after watching a segment of Arthur of 30 minutes and wonder why 2 men were kissing or why 2 men were walking down the aisle. Some parents are uncomfortable having that conversation with children that are at a young age. Now, that's, if you're a parent, that's your prerogative when you want to talk to them about sex, guns, drugs, whatever. But one thing I know is that I feel that it's inappropriate for little kids to have those conversations. Now, I know that people are probably wondering, what's the difference between a male and a female kissing on TV or kissing in a show? The difference is that that's normal. And I don't want to say that's normal as if like it's unnormal for 2 same-sex people to do it. I don't mean to say that. What I am meaning to say is that that is the traditional, that's the word I was looking for, traditional relationship. So the fact that they walk outside and see that every day, that is young kids' normal thing that they see when they walk outside every day. So it's not questioned. I really feel like people get in their feelings a lot when it comes to when we start talking about gay people, straight people. Let's just focus on the narratives being pushed and what we can do to try and raise our kids the right way. Because what's happening is that these narratives have our kids growing up way too fast and forming opinions about things that they don't even know enough about to form an opinion. Sometimes kids do not have the brain power or the wherewithal to make informed decisions about what they want to do in their lives. That's why they're still considered children. Let me know what you guys think. Let's have an open conversation, an uncomfortable conversation, great dialogue. I'm never mad, I'm never upset, I'm never smart or salty about anything anybody has to say. Any negative comments, please keep them to yourselves. This isn't the place for that. This is the place for everybody to come together and have an uncomfortable conversation about what really the main reasons and topics for a lot of the confusion that's going on in the world. It's J Tuck. Tune in for the next segment. Thank y'all.